Judge President, if we can start with who you are, your career briefly, and I'm not going to ask you about your character because we know now we're not going to deal with character, but just who you are, your history, becoming a judge president.
Thank you, Counsel. I was born in Butterworth. I did my primary education there, and then I moved to Umtata when my parents moved to Umtata. I studied at the University of Transkei, 2 degrees, firstly B Juris and thereafter LLB. Before being an advocate, it was a bit of a winding road, if I may put it like that. I was a prosecutor at some point. I was a state law advisor. I was a lecturer. I then joined the bar after undergoing pupillage at the Joburg Bar. I became an advocate for 22 years, 11 years as junior counsel and 11 years as senior counsel. I became a judge on 1 July 2015. And then in 2017, around May, I became ADJP in Umtata. The post of JP fell vacant. There was the first bout of interviews that were conducted. 4 of my colleagues were nominated. That process yielded nothing in the sense that no recommendation was made by the JSC. I availed myself. I became JP after undergoing the usual interview. I became JP on 1 November 2017, if I remember well. So basically, that is my pathway to being JP from the academic side of things and from the professional side of things.
Could you just tell the tribunal briefly about challenges that you may have faced by becoming a JP, judge president of a province, just after 2 years as a judge?
Maybe before I deal with that, Counsel, I hope it won't derail you. One of the documents that I will be referring to at page 10 of the consolidated bundle that I believe has been availed to everyone concerned. One will see that there is reference to Form 2. It says it is alleged that the facts set out in Annexure A to this notice constitute a complaint of incapacity, gross incompetence, or gross misconduct against you. In other words, it is as broad as all that. And one is not sure exactly why there is reference to incompetence and incapacity. But to the extent that there is maybe an allegation about incompetence, I can only refer to my CV, reported cases that were penned by me, and so on and so forth. But I don't want this tribunal to be carried away when it comes to that. It suffices basically to say, as counsel, I have to my favor 48 reported judgments. I'm not talking about judgments in Sefli, I'm just talking about reported judgments. You will see that the last of those, number 48 at page 5, is Poswa versus President of the RSA. And then as acting judge, when I was acting from time to time, I have 9 judgments, and I have made reference to some other authorities where those judgments are referred to. And then as a judge, I have accumulated, I'm just saying as a judge, I've accumulated 13 reported judgments. And as JP, I have accumulated 6 judgments. That is those that are reported. There may be reference to some in the course of what I will be saying, to the extent that, as I have said, mention has been made of some incompetence. I don't know in what context. There are publications that I point to at page 9. Transformative Constitutionalism, a Judicial Perspective from the Eastern Cape. It's published in the University of Fort Hare Law Journal. And then the other one, A Dead Horse Need Not Be Flogged, The Duty Not to Pursue Unmeritorious Causes, South African Judicial Education Journal, Volume 1, first issue, 2018.
JP, can you pause a little bit? You're referring to a document. Which document is that?
Can we go to the bundle?
Bundle? Page?
Bundle, let's go to the bundle. Page 3. This is the consolidated bundle.
From page 2 of what I think is before us is the complaint itself. Are you referring to that?
No. This is the bundle that I believe was submitted to the panel this morning. It is under index further supplementary bundle for use during respondent's testimony. Has the chairperson found that? The numbering is twofold. There's numbering for the particular bundle and then on the right-hand side to the general bundle or index. Has the chairperson located the index further supplementary bundle for use during respondent's testimony?
Yes, it's that one.
Correct. And then, so should I follow the small pagination?
Yes, there's the small numbering. You will see, chairperson, that page 1 is the CV. Page 1 is the CV.
Yes.
I've mentioned something about the chairperson.
Yes.
And then page 3 are reported cases since I joined the bar. There are let me say there are 48 of them that I could
Yes.
pick up.
Correct.
I don't want to delve into that.
Yeah.
I'm here as a judge otherwise. And then as acting judge, because from time to time I acted as a judge, you will see that there are 9 reported judgments.
On page, smaller page?
Small page is 5, 6, and 7.
Yes.
And then as a judge, starting with Gongose up until S versus Jolingana, 13 reported judgments that I could pick up. And then as a judge president, there are 6 reported judgments at page 8. I've highlighted some of those because in the course of my testimony, I may refer to some of them, but it's just highlighting.
Yes.
You will see number 10 at page 8, number 2 at the same page, the pages 5 and 6. The last reported judgment is sustaining the Wild Coast, NPC and 8 others versus Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy and 4 others. And then above that is Minister of Police versus Sheriff Mtata. I will say something about that. And then at page 9, these are publications in law journals at my instance that I penned. The first one was published in the Forte Speculum Juris. The second one was published in the Sage A Journal. And then the third one was published in the Obiter, which is a law journal of the university or Nelson Mandela University, NMU, Gqeberha. And then the one paper that I read that I thought maybe one should refer to, South African Perspective on the Interplay Between Freedom of Religion and Human Dignity. I read a paper at Brigham Young University in Provo, Utah, United States of America in 2018. So much for that. So much for that, Chairperson. Thank you for your patience.
Yes.
I thought Councillor should refer to that insofar as broadly there's mention of incapacity and incompetence. I don't know why.
Yes. Chair, you will see that that is a reference in small page 10 of that bundle. There is some insinuation, in fact, express about complaint of incapacity and gross incompetence. And so it's mentioned not to boast about what the respondent has done, but to deal with that kind of accusation.